Alright, have another curse seed here. And this one said that it ended a 13-game streak. And they also said that, I guess the original submitter, it didn't have the run there. It looks like Tinglicious has beaten it, though. Though I gotta say, I suspect it's hard, because if Tinglicious... Usually, I feel like he scores like 50k or above. So I do feel that sort of... If Tinglicious scores at 46k, then I suspect that there is some toughness to this run. But yeah, this ended the Chapel, or DMX's 13-game streak. And it's, I don't know, this was always a rough combo, even in the original game. So it's extra rough here because, you know, a lot of this stuff just hasn't necessarily scaled up. Though at least Umbra, I do feel Umbra is pretty good in Monster Train 2 typically, but they're, you know, they still have some weak stuff that exists. So we'll see. Aquaths can be pretty good with Umbra. Okay, we start with a very good mana unit, and the starters, they're okay. That would potentially allow me to go Burnout if it's offered, but I'd still probably prefer Dark Calling. Alright, we got Savagery as well, which I guess this combo doesn't care that much about. Umbra might. Alright, Dark Calling for sure. Jack Strips is pretty good here because of our lack of backline clear in this combo. And it's just really good early. So Dark Calling, typically want to go bottom floor in the first ring. The only question is, do I want to go Baron there as well? I get less reforms doing that. I think I'm going to go Baron top. I just won't play this other steward. I want these to die as much as possible. Could do this, and then we get the collector. I need this to live, so we'll do that. Just put that up there, get a thing. I suppose we could do this. Yeah. I fucked this turn up. I thought that guy was dying. But yeah, 9 is indeed lower than 10. The ways in which I can fuck a turn up. Alright, it's fine. We should have another one of these on the way. I'm just gonna have to live with that mistake. That was a pretty bad mistake. Well, did not get a good draw there. Well, it's just gonna have to do. I think we go like this. I think we'll be fine. Need to remember that I have Aquaths. So we don't need a lifesteal. This buys me more, I think. Alright, sucks that we took damage. I don't think we really needed to, but it is what it is. I need to remember that this is not easy to pilot. I have a lot of experience in dark calling, but I haven't actually been able to get a dark calling start in a long time, so. Okay, it's definitely not Memento Mori. That would be an example of a horrible card. But Purifying Cleanse is usable, but maybe Entombed Explosive is better. I'm thinking the Entombed Explosive is better. Sucks that it's Calcified Ember, though. There just isn't a whole lot of upside with it. Explosive, I feel, in Monster Train 2. They did make the bomb a little bit better, but that doesn't really mean much late game. Like, late game is just almost guaranteed to be relatively useless, but early on it's pretty powerful. Whereas the Purifying Cleanse is something that could be, like, used, but I don't know. This Umbra provides lifesteal in a few forms. We already have these, and so I don't need the healing component, so really it would just be the burnout extension component, which is much less good in Monster Train 2 because, I don't know, Paraffin Enforcer, it's still a great, I don't know that I'd even call it a great card. It's a good card. It's not nearly as good as it was in the first game, especially the DLC. Yeah, I think I'm talking myself into that. We really don't need these when we have the Jack strips, but Entumbra Assault might be good, still. The Mortal Trade would be really good too. And a Quoths can help me make it less awkward even if I never find a Perils or something. Got like the Immortal Trade. I don't know which way to go here. I'm thinking probably we go to the right. We can definitely support one Umbra unit at the moment. And hope for Multi-Strike or Smidgestone for Wickless Baron. Alright, multi, we got that. Ooh. I mean, I can play that with a Quoths. I just need a pip upgrade, which I would want to take with this thing. And Crucible Warden's just not that good of a unit. Yeah, we can make that work. I can also maybe just find the right artifacts to make it more playable. But yeah, Smidgestone would be obviously really nice. Oh wait, I have a Smidgestone. What am I talking about? Okay. Multi-Strike might go here then instead of the Wickless Baron. Seems reasonable, right? And then could do that. What's the steel situation like beyond this? I might be open to the Merchant Arms at this point. Like a Boiler Room, for example, would be pretty good. And this Merchant Steel might not have much for me at this point because this has now become a Shadowsiege run. And if I can find ways to play that out. Damage Shield 3 is one of the best cheap upgrades. I think it's fine. Just make us strong at the moment. Mark of Invasion's fine. We don't even have to play stuff up there. Though I probably still will, because these all end up dying here, which is a lot of harvests there. And the damage shield actually keeps them alive here just fine. I almost don't even want to play this here, because it steals a harvest up top, but I don't think we need to play that much into the harvest. I'd rather just get the card out. Alright, this very clearly just is this. Let's get this into the pool and save myself 4 damage. Alright, this guy's huge. I need to wait until I place Shadow Siege there. Oh, Shadow Siege, where are you, buddy? There's Shadow Siege, although honestly, in the name of saving 1 fire HP at this point, I'm kind of thinking I just do like this. Yeah, this is fine. I don't need to play that piece of shit unit anymore. Got him. If I'd have known that I was going to draw that Shadow Siege alongside the Vengeful Shard, I would have used my Aquaths on the earlier Calcified Ember. Thinking Dripfall, but Molded is tempting. That's a nice safety net to not just always have to rely on Dark Calling. And if I don't get a Harvest Flex, then it's really hard to keep Dark Calling alive, and especially the Savagery fight. I could see Molded actually being better than Dripfall here, I think. Okay, Perils, definitely. That also is a great way to play the Shadow Siege. So, first chance we can hit a magic, we will, which will be right after this. I kind of want to go here just for the health. It's very unlikely I need an Umbra unit, though it's not impossible. You know, another multi-strike could be good on this Wickless Baron. If I take the Merchant of Arms, though, I think there's a lot of good stuff here for me. I think I go here this time. And I'll wait here. If it's the, I'm at low enough health, 29, that I would actually go down to 1, I think, for the thing. Just because it's pretty good with, for the, whatever you call it, the stat artifact, you know what I'm talking about, shard or whatever. BT Blade we could work with, I guess, early enough. I don't know that I can put it on a unit that doesn't burn out, though, you know? I don't even know if it's that good here. It's not a good combo for it. If I get Trample, it will be. I'll buy it in case it's Graft event. I'll graft it onto the Shadow Siege. These are almost certainly bad. I mean, the Pyreborn's just the Pyre Gel card. It's never Alchemy. Is it ever Alchemy? Let's find out. Too bad. It's just such a bad card, I feel. Like, so bad. It's like the world's worst razor sharp edge you can imagine. That's the way I think of it. Equalizing Rings technically does give like a 50 damage. Oh no, never mind. For some reason I was thinking this unit was skewed toward health. It could be good if I end up with a Harvest Rector, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we even roll here. Just keep the money. We got that Merchant Magic coming up, which is a lot more important, and I don't even think I do deployable, because I'd rather put it on the Shadow Siege if I can. It's just not going to get reliable kills on any of my opening units. With Archean, we can go mid with this. Shitty draw. Well, I don't want to draw all the way back through it. But is this guy going to get any kills, realistically? We could add this to the reform pool. It's probably better. Get a 5/5 out of it anyway. Not going to play that, though. Yeah, we'll just put it there. Probably is not going to get any kills, though. That to die. Can have this block the other hit. Definitely got to get rid of these stewards. 23. If I put this up here, I could get a sleigh. I think that's worth. I can block both of these hits. That's the worst breakpoint possible there. Well, you got one sleigh at least. That might end up being the only one I get. This bastard always has to come alongside a Vengeful Shard, apparently, but yeah, I'm definitely playing this. Could put it here. Or here. If I put it here, then this thing might still get a kill. I might as well greed for the kills to some degree. That. Throw that into the pool. Yeah, I definitely got to get rid of these stewards because they're just so bad. Okay, 39. Get the kill there. I want this to survive so I can get another kill there, maybe. Put these into the pool. $22.45. Okay, we got another sleigh there. And then try to get that sleigh as well. So this thing. Yeah, that should allow the kill up there. So we should be good. Alright, that dies. We want it to. That way you get the kill. Put that guy in the very back. And time for the Shadowsieges. Boom. Trample seems pretty good here. Not too hard of a decision. I mean, I do have like Ember to spare. And to some degree, I don't know. I just don't know that these even help though. What's the Merchant of Arms situation looking like? I could just try to hit some Merchant of Arms. Okay, definitely. I'm definitely hitting every Empyrean well. So that one, this one we hit. And the final one we hit. So I'll hit 2 of them later. I don't need to fill my deck with mediocre units then. I do think Crucible Collector is actually decent, but not very good into Savagery. Pretty good otherwise, but just not really needed. I still think we take Ember. Draw could be the other thing, but I don't know. Maybe we take draw first. I am hitting 2 Merchant of Magic. No, just 1 Merchant of Magic. And then that one eventually. But that's not a super high chance at holdover. Most likely we would want like Permafrost, just the same as holdover for perils. It serves actually a better purpose. So I think we should do this. The pip could also be good, but less needed. Shadow Siege is the whole game plan here, really. So we're looking for holdover or Permafrost on. There you go. And if we're gonna hold it over, why not spell chain it as well? Probably, let's see, Quick Dagger would be good. We would definitely be okay with Quick on one of those dudes. Meat Shield's alright as well. Fight Club can be okay, but I think given what our game plan is, that the Quick Dagger definitely wins here. We're gonna reroll for maybe a chance at Intrinsic, I guess, on the... well, maybe not. I was gonna say Intrinsic on the Umbra Stone. What would we want then? We don't really want double stack. We don't really need Permafrost. Cost reduction on the Umbra Stone. Maybe I don't reroll? I don't know. Alright. Didn't get the harvest, but that's okay. I don't know. What do we do here? Like if I reroll it's 75 gold, then I'm not even getting like a premium upgrade at that point that I would necessarily need. Could just pseudo remove one of these since morsels are really not part of the game plan here. And then we'll do actual removal of... I'm gonna just remove both of these now. I know I do have a upcoming thing, but I think it's worth the money. So we have to find the Shadow Siege as soon as possible. So I did take an Ember upgrade, and I have the Holdover Perils, so this is like not really too big of an issue. I'll still be able to play Shadow Siege if I have to do it out of turn. Oh wow, I can actually play it with my Ember if I had not taken the trial. I didn't even think I had that much Ember, but I guess I do. Huh. Well, that's good. We're gonna go mid here as well. Just go race into the pool. Looks like we're gonna bottom deck the Shadow Siege. Does kind of... I almost wonder if I shouldn't play the Perils, with that being the case. Because I can play it with the Aquaths, and yeah, we just want to not bottom deck the thing. Once I play it, it's GG. I'd just like to point out, literally the last card drawn, had I played the Perils, I wouldn't have drawn it here. So, I am basically a genius. That's the main takeaway here. Alright, so they're dead. Might as well still put that there. Alright, you can have that. Can't have that as well, but that's okay. If I do this, does it steal the kill? It's 53 and 17. 53 and 17 is 70. Yeah, should be fine. Should probably just like not play anything, to be honest, because Shadowsiege obviously kills everything, and I wanted to get as many kills as possible. Alright, now I can play this. I guess I play these? I don't know. Alright, well, they're all dying. Let him get his slays. Now, I don't know how relevant this thing will be, but we'll see. Mortal Entrapment. It does feel kind of worth. Gives me a double stack target. I only got the one magic coming up. I don't even know if I hit it, to be honest, but I think so, because I need the Pyre Health, and it's like, I get Pyre Health there, but bad draws, I don't know. It is another card, though. We just saw, like, literally, I was one card away from not drawing Shadowsiege, and I could run into a situation where adding this card causes me to be one draw off of it, right? So you don't have a drop grade. Granted, I am getting Helvent now, so it's... And I'm playing one of them at the start, so it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Cannibalize, Ember Cache, Cave In. I could take a Cave in some cases. It's a little awkward. Be better if I had a shift card. But like I could Cave In Baron or something. I doubt we take it. I doubt we take any of these. Ooh, we could even get like a cavern upgrade on the dude here. Just take this, I guess. Kind of miss the old version of this, which gave you like celebrate per unit. I think they could have just tweaked the numbers there. But I like rewarding decks that finish with a ton of units on the board. To me, that's Monster Train. There you are. Still probably need to make some removals here. The upcoming shop is not that important than the Merchant of Magic. Like, it's just a nice to have. Which makes me wonder if I should be hitting the trinkets instead. I mean, I'm trying to think what... You know, I added this card, but it doesn't need double stack. It doesn't need permafrost. It doesn't need cost reductions. I already will have enough ember for it. So most likely I actually am not hitting that Merchant of Magic. Which means I'll hit this, which means I do need some gold. It has some gold attached to it. So maybe just remove one for now. There's a vortex coming up anyway. Mark should be fine. Now this is a boss that I could farm. And I had to imagine with 2 Shadowsieges I'll be fine farming it. I know there will be a lot of corruption coming in on this guy, but whatever. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Alright, well, hopefully we don't bottom deck him. Ugh, we top deck that, of course. I think I will keep it here, though. It kind of makes sense given what I got here. Man, that is annoying, though. Alright, we got that. That's good. Just doing that to save my pyre health. This guy will die if I can't get stuff for it. Lifesteal, please. Got it. Completely forgot that I even had this card. Wow, he's actually almost doing as much as the Shadowsieges. I should actually put the damage on him so he gets the farm. But yeah, I don't think so. At this point, it doesn't really matter. I don't even think I'm going to play this. I mean, this guy should get wrecked by these. He's not going to be able to do enough damage to get through these. Yeah, we got him. Alright, Hallowed Halls is probably not good for this deck. Wouldn't be horrible, but probably not good. Endless, maybe. It would mainly just be a tech into the savagery fight. I think it's okay. Even Grovel might be okay. But we're really starting to add cards that aren't really necessary. I think if I add the Remnant pack, I don't need to add a Grovel. Ember Forge actually could make sense here too. Maybe less so since I have the Perils. So I think we are going left. I mean, I don't think I'm taking any more pyro damage, hopefully. I don't want to overestimate myself though. Still, like, if I run into the Savagery fight ring 7, like, even the 400 damage is not enough actually for the initial unit bottom floor. But I think there's just more upside here. Chain of Gems pretty good. I highly doubt that our Shadow Box will hit pay dirt. Though I suppose if I do an Abandoned Entumbra plus that could work. Even then, I don't know, I get maybe 10, 6 or 7 out of that, and then I still got to come up with like 15 morsels. It's just not going to happen. Commemorative Spike might work. It's just not worth my money, though. Okay, Whetstone we can do, for sure. Alright, let's get rid of Steward and I guess Shade Splitter. Yeah, probably the Shade Splitters are no good. Keep the rest of this money. So for this fight, we probably want to set up bottom. I will remember to play the right unit this time. Give you that as well. We want to put the Baron on that floor. Let's do this. So, definitely want to do that. I like that, I think. Definitely get our slays here. Make him have that. Don't really need to care about that. Alright. We have our other Shadowsiege here. So we'll do that in the back, probably. Because I do want to get all the kills onto this BT blade. Works. Can block a hit here, I guess. Ah, son of a bitch. Alright, whatever. Fine putting this in. It's not going to get any kills at this point, but I do want it, like, in front. Put this here. It's actually a shame. I would have wanted to actually hit my own unit here, but whatever. Because he's eating up 2 slays. Shroud Spike normally so good, but probably not really worth here. There's definitely some upside to it, but kind of doubt it. Kindle is another one that like could work, but I don't know. Probably just skip. We won't draw at this point. Alright, Merchant Arms. Probably don't take any of this Spell Sanctum. Is there any reason to take that? Not really. I would definitely take a Boiler Room, so I'll roll for that. Alright, no Boiler Room. There's a Void Armament. There's a Hall of Mirrors. Hall of Mirrors, maybe. But, I don't know. I think we're just going to merge these. And it's guaranteed to be in my opener at 0. I like that. The other, Void Armament could have been good too, but I feel like Quick is more important. Especially considering I'll get Trample eventually, and yeah, I think we'll be fine there. Hall of Mirrors definitely has some application. I'm going to take it. These Shadowsieges, I'll probably have a 2-floor setup at some point, so like, it kind of turns these Hell Vents into double Hell Vents in the ideal scenario. It'll be interesting. Alright, never did get the flex for the whatchamacallit, but it is what it is. Get rid of one more Shade Splitter here. The thinner we can make the deck, the better. It makes it so we can get to the Shadow Siege and Perils faster. Alright, Silence does suck for my BT Blade, but that's about it. I think we will want to set up bottom. I mean, if I set up top, the Jackstrips will kill the dudes. So maybe we do that? It does mean the boss gets 3 rounds, though. I don't think I actually want to underestimate this boss. We just live with the fact that we're not going to get slays whenever these guys are here. I mean, even the morsels here don't get their slay, so... Wait. Oh, reanimate. I'm like, why were you not dying? Alright, sooner we can get the Umberstone, the better. Actually gonna put this down first, and then this. whatever. Just throw these out. Just do that for shits and giggles. Yep, that's fine. We got a lot of slays on that BT blade. It's getting to the point where it's like, it's almost, if I didn't have this Shadow Siege to, ooh, resin removal, I like it. Gem Trove for this fight, maybe. I'm feeling it. Alright, we got our health up to full. I don't mind this. Shadow Sheath, not too bad here, I don't think. Given the fight that we have, I think it's okay. Resin block, case, none of them. Alright, Hell Vent, another one of these. Yeah, none of this, so I can make one removal. Resin block's the only one that really does anything for me here. Do I care about the Shade Splitter? I don't think so. That should be good. Alright, feeling pretty good about this. Yes, the original submitter, let me see if I can remember the comments they made. I'm guessing they must not have ended up with Shadow Siege because, which I'm trying to think back. We were, I don't see a good reason to go Merchant of Magic at the first ring, so it's not like a thing of like, well, you didn't get Shadow Siege. How am I trying to word this? It's like, just because the Shadow Siege was on the right is not the reason that it made it the right choice, but the right choice is just that there just wasn't much at the Merchant of Magic. Plus Ring 2, you generally just want to default to the Merchant of Steel anyway, and I don't see a good reason to go to the other side. Could have Rector die here if we don't get the right stuff. Alright, we start with yeah, this Shadow Siege was definitely good here. Do I want just Gem Trove or this? I feel like I want that, maybe. This is a tough one because the trample here is not giving me as much as just putting down this Shadow Siege. I guess I can play them. No, I'm one short of being able to play them both. I honestly may want the Shadow Siege here. Just to kill that thing. I think that's fine. And let's get the dude to come up top. And we'll just feed this guy, because these will all come in with stealth. Let's try to drop back to the Umberstone. That's why we remove our Shade Splitters and stuff. Alright, that guy dies. They all die to the other things, so we should be good there. Bottom decking perils, but whatever. I don't think there's anything I can do to keep Rector alive, but I also don't think that Rector really cares to be alive necessarily. This does make Hall of Mirrors defunct, but whatever. Actually, I could still go mid with the Hall of Mirrors. Wow, we are really bottom decking perils. Jesus. Well, I'd probably still go Hall of Mirrors mid then. These die to whatever. Give you double of that. Give you these. Alright, we got this. I could make you endless. We don't have trample. I'm thinking I probably just do this then. If I get rid of the melee weakness and the damage here, that's probably better than Gem Trove, and then I can play this anyway. Alright, they're all dying. I can give you trample finally. And then put you there because we don't have any space here. Put him in just for the hell of it. Who needs health? Yeah, kind of wasted anyway. I'll give it to him, even though he's dying. Let him know that it's the thought that counted. Okay, they're all dying. Why don't I hit you? I'll still do this. Bring him back for some fun. So yeah, you can kind of see, and we'll still let this guy try to get as many slays as possible. But yeah, you can see that even with the multi-striking Shadowsiege, it's duped a few times. It still needs to go multi-floor setup, so it could also be a thing of like they took Shadowsiege but didn't factor in that they'd still need several of them and like didn't dupe them or something. Or maybe they saw the Shadowsiege and just didn't take it because they didn't kind of realize that it was pretty playable with the Quoths and the Smidgestone right in the shop and the multi-strike. I mean, I would take this all day without the multi-strike anyway, though. This is obviously the nuts version of Shadowsiege. But do I really need to go bottom here, I wonder? I feel like I do. It's like the more slays, the better, essentially, for my Shadow Sheath. Alright. Get another one in. I'm going to put the other one in front. I'm going to go top with the Hall of Mirrors on this one. Get as much of that as possible. That works. Actually done a ton of damage to savagery already. I'm definitely annoyed though at the lack of what am I trying to say? The lack of perils. That's the card I'm thinking of. Like, bottom decking it in the most crucial fights twice in a row is definitely super annoying. You're getting hit, huh? No, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm decking the Umbra Stone as well, it appears. I am still not going to do that. Because eventually I want to put Shadowsieges up there. Alright, here we go. Put it down first so it gets the thing. Yeah, I just don't actually have the Ember to play that apparently, even with the whatever you call it. Alright, might as well not take that last bit of damage. And give you the heal. Boom! 69 health. Perfect. So yeah, I mean, that one was mainly just work toward the Shadow Siege and get it done. And Tankless just has the same idea here. It looks like, well, we have like a lot of the same stuff. I guess the Baron is more tank focused, which makes sense. But I saw the multi and I took it. It did cover me from some misplays, you know, having the multi-strike and the Baron. So it was nice. A few differences in the items. come to think of it, I should have took Overgrowth Carapace. I completely forgot that, Smidgestone locks your dude in at 1, so it's just free 2020 every single turn. It's absolutely something I should have bought. I looked at it and I was like, oh, I don't want to lose space. But yeah, that's like brain fart moment. So definitely good to take the Overgrowth Carapace there. Mortal Trade, Kindle. In hindsight, I kind of wish I took the Kindle too, to be honest. I mean, it would have protected me against bottom decking perils and being able to play the Shadowsieges out. So definitely I wish I took the Kindle. Definitely like that. It's got the perils, Crushing Demise. It could never hurt to have a Crushing Demise. I think with my deck though, it was hard for me to justify taking it because I knew I was going to have 2 relevant floors most likely, even with the Shadowsieges, which by the end it was true, and that makes it like hard for me to play Crushing Demise. Unless I have like consistent reform, which I just didn't feel I had. Yeah, he definitely took a lot of different routes though. We see like the Entropic, Crystallis, and the Mortal Entrapment. A lot of Merchant of Magics, it looks like. Shadowsiege. So I'm guessing he must have given up at least 1 Hellvent, because I think we had, what, 4? Yeah, we had 4. So I'm guessing one of those Hellvents he went the other way on, and it had the Cavern for Entropic Chrysalis. But at the end of the day, largely we still had the same idea. I feel like it's pretty natural to go to that Merchant of Steel Ring 2. Without knowing what the deck looked like for the original submitter, my guess is they just didn't lean into Shadow Siege, because Shadow Siege is a unit that sort of just you plop down and it does what it does. You support it here and there, but it's just giant stats, and we had the ideal upgrades right in that shop for it. So I really think that this run ultimately comes down to should have went to the Merchant of Steel, and also built around the Shadow Siege. I have to imagine either both or one of those things didn't happen to lose this. And I will say, let's imagine a Shadow Siege doesn't exist. Then that's the tough thing about these Curse Seeds sometimes, because it's like, obviously the route you went down probably ended up being pretty miserable. But what I will say is, if we had never found a Shadow Siege, there was other stuff that I saw in this run that would have worked. There's obviously the Holdover Perils that is spell chained, and there's initial morsels, and eventually a Shroud Spike. Plus, there's a Kindle that I think you could pair with the Shroud Spike. I can't remember if they're in the same draft or not. I don't think they were. But, so, worst comes to... And there was a Trample, right? There was the Umbra Stone. So it's like... and there was like Void Armament. So like there was a lot of stuff on this run that you could have leaned into had you not had the Shadow Siege. And I think really it's just a matter of like identifying what's powerful and shying away from what's not. So, yeah, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, thanks for that submission. It has been a long time since I have been able to play Shadow Siege. And on that note, it's one of the many things I like about Umbra in Monster Train 2 compared to Monster Train 1, because I really did not like Shadow Siege in Monster Train 1. It just seemed like such a ridiculous unit to actually be able to get to play. It just felt like, it was always Sketches of Salvation was the most likely way that you would play it, which never felt great to me. It felt like it kind of defeated the intended design of the unit, which is to like spend a ton of resources to get it out. But in Monster Train 2, it's just much more natural to actually use a Shadow Siege as intended. Now granted, the Smidgestone obviously changes things a lot too, because that removes the pip component of things. But the Ember component, I guess, is what I'm mainly getting at. It's like I can I can have a deck that doesn't have necessarily crazy Ember generation. You know, I could, like I said, if I never had gotten the Perils or anything, I could have also taken like the Ember Forge, right? And then that's actually enough to get you to play a Shadow Siege as well. So, and then you got Pyres like a Quas Pyre that make it doable, stuff like that. So I really like that Shadow Siege is actually a very playable unit in Monster Train 2. It just feels like a much better designed unit. And honestly, even though we obviously stomped the run with it because it had multi-strike, there can be runs where it doesn't have multi-strike or Smidgestone, and it's a very reasonable unit, honestly, at that point. It's like, it's not going to carry a run all the time. It will early on, but as you can see at the end here, we needed multiple Shadow Sieges with multi-strike to actually get through the run, so it's like, I even kind of like the design of it in that sense. It's like, it's not like you see a Shadow Siege and you automatically win. It's like, we had the nuts here, so obviously in that case we win with it, but if it was a less nuts type situation, then it becomes more reasonable. But yeah, I probably blabbered on long enough. Anyway, thanks for that submission, and as always, until next time, peace.